Welcome to my Talking Guitar podcast with Dickey Betts. Here's how this one came about. As the 10th anniversary of Duane Allman's death in 1971 approached, I asked my fellow editors at Guitar Player magazine to consider devoting our October 1981 issue to Duane. This proposal got a unanimous thumbs up, so I reached out to many of the musicians who'd worked with Duane. My interview with Duane's younger brother, Gregg, is already available on YouTube. Naturally, I wanted to speak to Dickey Betts, who graciously agreed to devote our entire conversation to Duane, who was his friend and co-guitarist in the Allman Brothers Band. This conversation took place on July 16, 1981, and originally appeared in this Duane Allman cover story from October 81. Hope you enjoy it.
Thanks a million for getting back to me.
Well, it took me a lot longer than I'm sorry about waiting so late to call you. We've been on vacation on everything.
Oh, I understand, man. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Did you call me or did you call collect?
I called.
You want me to call you back?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Could you tell me about the first time you met Duane?
Yeah, it was, I guess, in 65. And Duane and Gregg had a band called Hourglass. They were playing clubs, around the state of Florida. And we run into each other in a club over in Orlando. And, jammed, and that's when I first met Gregg and Duane.
What was the state of development that both you and Duane were at that time?
We were both had more or less nightclub bands doing a lot of material, nightclub type material. They were doing a lot of Ray Charles and Bobby Bland stuff, along with some top 40 and then a couple of original songs at that time. In other words, the band I was working with or Duane's group at that time weren't in a position to do, completely original material like we were later.
Yeah, were you both playing lead?
Yeah.
And slide?
At that point, I don't think Duane was playing slide.
When did he get his slide together?
He started really getting seriously into the instrument, aside from just, sitting around in the house or something, just about the time the Allman Brothers got together. Yeah, just I think that's when he first started playing it on stage.
Do you know how he got his style down?
Well, Robert Johnson was, you've heard that name a million times, but he's influenced so many people, and I guess that he was probably one of the biggest influences on Duane. Who's the guy the slide player? Elmore James. Yeah, he got, really into Elmore James a lot because of the electric part of it. Robert Johnson never played any electric, of course. And so Elmore James was a big influence on his electric slide.
I heard a story that he used to have Twigs play Elmore James records, and he'd hear play a couple of phrases and pick the needle up, and then Duane would try to learn them, and then they'd do that all day. Well,
Duane he didn't exactly study slide that way. He would listen to a lot of albums and things, just sitting around in the daytime and pick up a guitar and play along with them, But, he didn't try to copy him note for note, but he just kind of absorbed it,
What kind of an influence did you guys have on each other in the beginning? What did you bring to him, and what did he bring to you?
Well, at first, when the band was first, trying to form, Duane was planning on just going to Capricorn with a trio. It was going to be Duane and Barry Oakley and J-Mo. So Phil Walden had approached Duane and told him to put a group together, a trio. And so Duane started showing up and sitting in with Barry Oakley and myself with our band in Jacksonville. And
what band was this, Dickey?
it was called The Second Coming. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, you know, Barry and Duane were kind of getting used to playing with each other, you know, getting ready to go into this this new venture, you know. So, as we started jamming, you know, we all realized that we had that Duane and I playing harmony guitars together kind of was something that we weren't expecting to hear. So,
had you heard other people do that before then, Dickey?
Well, yeah, the Western swing bands from the 30s have always used that twin harmony guitars, you know, and like a lot of the songs that we did were, you know, really strongly influenced from that. And that's probably what I offered Duane, talking about what we picked up off of each other was that influence, like when we did things like Blue Sky, which is one of the last things Duane played on, you know, and he's playing that kind of Western swing. Well, you know, Jerry Garcia is into that kind of playing too, you know. And so that's probably what I offered to Duane. And then, of course, I learned, you know, just immense, you know, just a whole bunch about playing electric slide. I guess my whole thing with electric slide guitar came from Duane.
Would you describe how he played slide?
Well, Duane played slide guitar more like a harmonica than he did a guitar. He really played, you know, like we was talking about him listening to Elmore James. He also listened to all the harp players, you know, Sonny Boy Williams and all that. And he really played a lot of harmonica licks on the slide guitar, I guess.
How did he hold his hands when he was playing slide?
Well, he used glass, you know, Corseiden bottle. That's before you could buy them in music stores. You can buy them in music stores now, but and he wore it on his ring finger, which is so unorthodox, you know. Because most people play slide, they either wear it on their middle finger or their little finger so you can fret the guitar. But he had this, that was the way he wanted to do it, you know. And he wore the slide on his ring finger, and he didn't use a pick.
What would he do? What would he hit the strings with?
Just the thumb and the first and second finger.
Did he damp?
A finger picking style, you know, which is the same style I've adopted on slide guitar, you know. Like I say, he influenced my electric slide immensely.
Did he damp with his other fingers behind the slide?
Yeah.
Now, did he prefer any particular guitars for playing slide on? Were they set up special or anything?
Well, when we first started out, you know, he used to just tune his regular, you know, the Les Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He'd tune it on stage. Just, you know, when we got ready to do a slide tune, he'd just tune the guitar to a straight E chord and play slide right on the guitar that he'd been playing all night, rather than switching. And then as he got more advanced and got into it more, as you know, a couple of years went by, he started using a Gibson SG, and he liked that because of the long neck, and you can get way down on the bottom frets without any trouble.
Who took care of his guitars for him when he was alive? Was that Twigs?
Yeah, Twigs. When the band was first together, Twigs was the road manager and the stage manager, and you know, the whole thing. Red Dog, you know, Twigs. And,
when Duane would bend notes, what fingers would he use for that? What was his method of bending?
You're talking about regular tuning now, right?
Yeah, right.
Not slide. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Geez, I'm not sure about that. You know, I guess he'd bend them with whatever finger he had.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you spend a lot of time jamming off stage?
Yeah. Well, we still do that. You mean you're talking about Duane and myself and
Or the band. How much time was the band actually together playing?
Well, in the early days, we almost lived together. You know, the main reason was nobody had the money to have apartments, so we just rent a big house, you know, and everybody chip in and try to.
Did most of the songs come together through jamming? Like how would you?
Well,
could you?
I wouldn't say that. Well, there was a lot of the ideas for the arrangements for the songs would come together through jamming. Yeah, in fact, that's all of it. You know, like in Whipping Post, for instance, when Gregg brought the song to present to the band, he just drummed it on acoustic guitar and sang it. So all that, the parts that and the arrangement and all that was just taken from just jamming together a lot, you know, and you know, like, hey, let's put this part of that jam we spent the other night in this song, you know. That
yeah.
Sort of thing.
How about Memory of Elizabeth Reed?
Well, I'd written the melody and the very basic chords, you know, and brought it to the band, and we played it for a week or so before we even, you know, before we taped it or anything, just seeing what we could do with the tune.
Was it hard being in a band with Duane?
Well, it was hard not to try and you know, have just this complete contest all the time, you know, trying to outdo, you know, because we were both playing lead, and the only way that can work is if somebody, you know, lays back just a little bit. It's the same position Danny Toller and myself's in right now.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the position I was in with Duane, and you know, if I had that jealousy or whatever get involved in it too much, you know, it just wouldn't have worked. So in that sense, it was kind of hard, you know. But hell, I learned more, you know, through those years than probably any other period of my playing career.
Did he like to talk about guitars and music a lot outside of playing?
Yeah, that's he knew more about that than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the songs he admired the most that you played?
Well, you mean the ones that are original songs?
Yeah, the Allman Brothers material.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what his favorite songs were. Dreams was, I think, one of the best performances he did on record, as far as the Allman Brothers Band. You know, he performed on a lot of people's records, but the slide thing he did on Dreams he was really proud of that.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of fun playing it when we did it live. You know.
Who did was the first long solo Duane's?
In which?
Dreams I'll Never See.
Yeah, that's Duane. Yeah.
And the very.
I don't think I'm even playing a solo on that song.
The very strange part near the end was done with a bottleneck. Could I ask you a few more questions about that album?
Yeah.
And Just My Cross, or how much on that album, the first album, Allman Brothers?
Yeah.
How much of that was recorded live?
None of it was live. I mean, what do you mean? We did.
Well, I meant in the sense of going in the studio and doing it all on the first takes.
Well,
or was a lot of that overdubbed?
That album was basically a live album done in the studio, if you know what I mean. There was very little overdubs on it. Of course, the vocals, you know, you redo vocals, you know. And, you know, I mean, Gregg would sing the vocals and then go back and redo them. I mean, that's the way it's done, you know.
Yeah.
And there were parts that were just exaggerated just because, you know, you kind of have to exaggerate the music on an album because you can't see anything. There's no, you know. But all the solos and that sort of thing was done right when the track was being played. We still do it that way, as a matter of fact.
Probably brings a lot more spontaneity to it.
Yeah.
Who did the first and second solos in Just My Cross to Bear?
Oh, Jesus.
I know these are hard, Dickey.
On that album, if you listen to it next time, I always appear left and Duane always appears right.
Oh.
Or either vice versa, whichever way you've got your wires hooked up, you know. But you can always tell if, you know, that because one of us will always appear in the same spot on the record each time.
Is that true for any of the other records?
I'm not sure about the others, but that one for sure. I know it is. I think all the rest of them we did with Duane were that way. Just because it would be easier to, to distinguish who was playing what. Sometimes it gets kind of confusing on an album.
Really? Your styles were so close at times. It's hard to tell who's who. At least, to my ears. In Black-Hearted Woman,
yeah.
Did you do the straight solo in that?
Let's see. I hadn't played some of these songs in so long, I can't remember. Yeah, I think Duane was playing slide on that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was playing the regular guitar.
Who made up the bolero-like ending of that song?
Duane.
Duane did? Did you play acoustic in Trouble No More?
No, I played electric. I think Duane overdubbed acoustic on it. And then he played electric slide on the, along with it.
In the tune Whipping Post, there's that real faraway guitar in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember how they recorded that part? That's the first album.
The intro?
Yeah.
It was just, I think it was Duane playing, it was three parts would just come in. It was just played through no tricks to it. It was just an amplifier, on a guitar. Maybe they put echo on it or something and drifted it back. I don't know.
Who did the pedal steel effects in Midnight Rider?
That was probably me.
Was that album recorded the same way as the first one?
Midnight Rider. Which album was that on?
Idlewild South.
Yeah. That was a little more of a studio album than the first couple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first, let's see, was that our second album?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was a little more studio-oriented.
That was the one with, like, Hoochie Coochie Man, Please Call Home.
Well, it was still pretty loud on that, I recall those songs, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We used to just we'd set the amps up in the studio just like we did on stage. We would run the producers crazy. Instead of baffling all the amps off,
Yeah.
We'd just set up like we do on stage, and we'd even stand like we did on stage on a lot of those tunes. Midnight Rider was more of a studio cut song.
Who was playing most of the acoustic for Idlewild South?
Duane.
Duane was?
Yeah.
Was the Live at the Fillmore album an accurate representation of your sound at the time?
Yeah, there's some of the things on it. The Mountain Jam,
Well, that came on Eat a Peach there.
Oh, did it? Yeah, well, we cut it, though, at the same time at the Fillmore, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fillmore, there was no overdubs whatsoever on that.
Mm-hmm.
No vocal overdubs, no repair work. There was some edits, in some of the jams. They had to edit it, try to get it on a record. But other than that, there was nothing done to that. It's just a pure performance.
Who introduced the songs on stage? Who was that talking?
Duane did most of it. Yeah.
In the song In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, who was playing the volume swells?
That was me.
That was you?
Mm-hmm.
Those were beautiful. Can you tell me how to distinguish, or who did which solos in Whipping Post and Hot Atlanta?
Whipping Post.
The live one?
I played the first one in Whipping Post, and Duane played the second one.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
In Hot Atlanta?
Geez, I hadn't heard that in so long.
Yeah.
It was probably the same way. I usually played first.
Yeah, and You Don't Love Me, then you probably did the one before the harp?
Yeah.
And then there was the long solo afterwards.
That was Duane.
Uh-huh.
No, wait a minute. The live one?
Yeah.
That switches back and forth.
I see.
Yeah, I played, actually on that particular cut, I played the last solo, the real long one that just goes on with the drums.
Yeah.
And then Duane comes back in after I finish that and puts his signature on it. And that, yeah.
That sort of Joy to the World lick?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did Eat a Peach get its name?
Duane named it.
Oh, Duane came up with the name?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last sessions he worked on for this? What cuts?
It was,
Want me to read you the one he's on?
Duane was killed in the middle of Eat a Peach album, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on One Way Out, Trouble No More, Stand Back.
I think Blue Sky was one of the last things we did, yeah.
And Little Martha.
Yeah.
Blue Sky.
I mean, we did all those songs that in about 3 weeks in the studio down in Miami. Then we decided to take a break because I think Tommy Dowd had something else he had to do. And anyway, we decided to take a few weeks off. And then Duane was killed. And so, I don't know, after everybody had a chance to get over what was happening, we came back in and finished it, a few months later.
Was Duane usually on when he played?
He was always on when he played.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was the difference between like what he played off stage by himself?
Well, he really enjoyed just sitting around a hotel room or around the house playing like old Robert Johnson tunes or Willie McTell on acoustic, real personal stuff, and singing those old songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that he never recorded. I mean, he never put any of it on tape.
How did Little Martha come about?
He wrote that for his wife.
Was he married at the time he died?
Well, I think he was married one time, and then they were divorced, or they were going to get a divorce, and then he was he was living with this girlfriend, but it was the same as being married. They had a house and everything,
Did he have children?
Yeah, he had a little girl.
Do you know what her name was?
Galadriel.
What was it?
Galadriel.
Galadriel?
Hold on a minute. How do you spell it? I'll tell you how to spell it. It's just Glad.
Mm-hmm.
Riel.
Galadriel Allman?
Yeah.
When was she born, do you know?
I don't know exactly. It was just before he was killed, She was just a year old or something, a couple years old.
Who were Duane's best friends at the time he was in the band?
Pardon me?
Do you know who Duane's best friends were around the time he was in the band? Allman Brothers?
It was King Curtis, was a real good friend of his,
Mm-hmm.
They tried to spend all the time they could together, and of course, he hung out with all the guys. Tom Doucette and Duane used to run together a lot. Tommy's the harp player that played on all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he's down here in Sarasota,
Uh-huh. Do you know what the Duane's wife or his girlfriend's first name was?
Yeah, his girlfriend's name was Dixie.
Is that the one who mothered Galadriel?
No. What was Galadriel? Donna. Yeah. Hell, I'm getting saturated with questions here. I'm forgetting people's names.
Dickey, I understand.
Donna Allman. Yeah.
That was Donna Allman?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she still around?
I think she's in St. Louis.
Well, let me see. How do you view the period of the band when Duane was in it compared to the subsequent periods?
Well, it was just it's been 10 or 11 years has gone by.
Yeah.
And it's the band is still unique, in the way we play.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same band that it was at all, and we don't try to be. As a matter of fact, it took a long time before we'd even think about playing with two guitars again. We played for a long time with just we didn't even consider hiring another guitar player. And then finally, after a few years went by, we decided, well, might be nice to try it.
Do you have
but
any?
It's a different thing. It's a little different thing now.
Yeah.
Than it was then.
Yeah. What do you feel that Duane contributed to the guitar overall?
Well, I think that he's probably be known as the best electric slide guitar player of that time period. When enough time goes by that people will write it up as well, I guess it's about that that time now for him to be documented for what he did. Yeah, he was the foremost electric slide guitar player. Of course, you know that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing the story. He was a great, he was a great guitar player all the way around, but I think that's probably what he's more famous for than anything. Yeah.
And putting the band together, I mean, he did put the Allman Brothers Band together, and he's, I guess he'll always be known for being the leader, or the guy that made that whole thing happen.
Do you have any favorite memories of him, Dickey?
Well, I enjoyed knowing him, being around him the whole time, and there's nothing in particular that I'd want to say.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I got a chance to work with him.
Yeah. This question's a little off the wall, but do you happen to know what parts he played on Layla?
Yeah, he's doing the slide.
Did he play? What about the hook to the song, the first half of the song?
You mean da 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 da, that part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that he had a lot to do with that line, because that was a kind of a typical Allman Brothers type line, But on the other hand, Eric Clapton plays those kind of lines too. So it was probably just between the two of them they came up with it, But the slide guitar part, it was all freestyle. He was playing around the line and everything.
Did he play most of the slide on that album, like Tell the Truth and Have You Ever Loved a Woman?
No, I don't know just how much, because Eric plays some good slide guitar too. He was playing most of the electric slide, yeah. I think.
Then there's that one of the best solos is Why Does Love Got to Be So Sad, where it really cranks out at the end, and it sounds much more like Allman Brothers material than anything Clapton ever did.
Yeah.
Because that Joy of the World comes back in.
Uh-huh.
So that must have been Duane.
Yeah, Duane was all over that album, really. They had a lot of fun doing it. They stayed in the studio for just, hours and hours just jamming and stuff, and coming up with lines.
Uh-huh.
I think if Duane hadn't been there, the songs would be a lot different.
Yeah.
Probably especially Layla.
Did he just take a break during from the Allman Brothers to do that album?
No, he did that. We just got off tour,
mm-hmm.
and needed some time off. We used to tour just, ruthlessly. I mean, we'd be out on the road for 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'd get home, we'd take a month off, to recreate.
Yeah.
Duane had some time, to spare, and went and did it.
Oh, I see.
I mean, he didn't stop the Allman Brothers Band to do that, no.
Yeah, I see. Is there any...
He went out on the road with Eric, too.
He did?
For a couple of weeks, yeah. Right when the album was released, when Clapton did the tour behind the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duane went out for a couple of weeks with him on the road.
I didn't know that. Is there anything else you care to add?
Well, That's pretty well covered. You know, there's a lot of you know, you've pretty well covered the whole thing there. I tell you what, if you look back at this and want to, you know, think of something that you'd like to talk to me about that you forgot,
yeah,
just give me a ring.
Okay, do you have a number?
Yeah, I'll give it to you, and you know, 'cause it's going to be a nice article you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
So if you do want to, if you think of something and you want to call back, do it.
Dickey, thanks a lot. This sure wouldn't be the same without an interview with you.
Well, I'm glad to be part of it, man. I'm looking forward to reading it.
Okay.
And give me a call if anything comes up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dickey Betts passed away in 2024 at the age of 80. A transcription of this interview appears in my Talking Guitar online music magazine, which is linked in the write-up below. Before signing off, I want to thank my producer, Nick Hunt, the man behind the camera here, as well as Steve Weiss and Shaw Lenz at UNC Southern Folklife Collection, who've helped make these podcasts possible. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.